Hey y'all, this is Olivia with Crosswalk Discipleship Ministries, and today I want to share with y'all 8 signs or red flags of a false teacher. So God has called us to test the spirits and not to blindly follow or believe anyone that just happens to have like a seminary degree or just happens to have a pulpit. So I made this list hoping that it would help you to figure out if you were in the correct fellowship. Number 1. It's all about the money. 1 Timothy 6:10 says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." False teachers love money, and they can't go very long without talking about it. They will always find some way to weave money into their sermons and why you should give them yours. They love teaching the tithe doctrine, and they love to charge money for their ministry classes. So that's the first sign, and you'll see that sign kind of repeated a little bit in some of these other signs. The second one is they're very materialistic. False teachers love to wear expensive clothing, they like to drive expensive cars, they like to have expensive houses. And they have fallen in love with these luxuries in life, and they want you to support their habit. In order for them to do this, they have to convince you that you owe them this money. And meanwhile, you're still living paycheck to paycheck, sitting in the dark because you can't afford your light bill. Number 3, their services are all about them and their talents. False teachers want to make sure that when you leave the assembly, that they're on your mind. Not Jesus, not the gospel, them. The word teaches us that the church is a body and that we all have different parts in it to make it work. And false teachers want to take over as many parts of this as they can, because it's not about the church and it's not about glorifying God, it's about glorifying themselves. Number 4, they don't preach, they perform. So false teachers, when they go on stage, they take on a persona. They are no longer themselves anymore. They take on like a persona, like they're acting. They'll yell, they'll sweat a lot, they'll run around the stage, and people will like clap through the whole sermon. Like you might not even be sure what they're saying because everyone's clapping so much. And then once they're done, at the end, they'll get off stage and they'll shake everybody's hands, they'll talk to you, and they're just like a really calm, laid-back person. And it's like they just went from 100 back down to 0 because they're done with their performance. So they just started to act like their normal selves again because their performance was over. This is what false teachers do. Number 5, they use the same few Bible verses all the time. They recycle the same like few verses. I'm not going to put an exact number on it because it varies, but they use the exact same ones throughout all of their sermons, and they will rarely, if ever, add new ones. This is because they don't read the Bible. The Bible is full of tons of wisdom, and it's like this thick. Y'all have seen one before. There's a lot in there. But they'll use the same few ones over and over again because they never sit down to read the Bible and see all of the different ones. So they just keep recycling the same ones because they know that they work. Number 6, they will not call you out on your sin. They don't want to offend you in fear that you will leave their church, because if you leave, that means they're going to make less money. Also, it's important to note, if someone does love you, they will call you out on your sin. Number 7, they will gossip from the pulpit. I have had this happen to me, and I have watched this happen to other people. If you make a false teacher mad, they're not going to come to you one-on-one and tell you like the Bible tells you to do. They're not going to do that. They're going to craft a sermon around your wrongdoing, and the whole time they preach it, they will not look you in the eye. And many times what they do is they do this when you call them out on something that they're doing wrong. And they'll say things like the verse, "Don't touch God's anointed," just to remind you that they're above you and that they're above all wrongdoing, because that's how they think. And last but not least, this is number 8, they will encourage you to invite people to church, but they won't encourage you to evangelize. Because remember, number 1, They love money, and the love of money is the root of all evil. They want you to bring people into the church so that they can have more customers and more of an audience for their personal performance. And they'll not teach you how to evangelize other people and how to share the gospel. And they won't encourage you to reach the lost because they just want you to bring them to their church, their business, so they can make money. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. God bless.